Hi everyone, I'm Dorian, and I was invited by Tartu 2024 team to talk to you about my experience in working in an ECOC team and development of international partnerships within that project. Unfortunately, I could not be here with you physically. Exactly 1 year ago was my first time in Tartu, and I really enjoyed the city, and that's why it's really a shame that I could not join you. But here we are doing a pre-recorded presentation followed by a live Q&A. And since I'm desperately trying to do this in as little takes as possible, let's keep our fingers crossed that everything goes well. So let me give you just a short introduction on this experience of mine. I was a part of Rijeka 2020 team since the summer of 2014, when the city officially announced its bid for the European Capital of Culture title, until the spring of 2020, when the first lockdown in Croatia happened, and all of our plans and the wonderful program that we have prepared for this year needed to be rethought, rebuilt, and rebudgeted, if you will. So the logical question would be, are the international relations really that important? And everyone who is dealing with this topic will immediately say, yes, well, of course, they are important. You need to work across borders with various partners. And the follow-up question, logically, from your side would be, okay, but you need to tell me why. So in this context, European Capital of Culture is a European Union initiative. And that means that European Union and European Commission are writing the rules of the game. And the rule of the game is to develop cross-border partnerships, not just within European continent, but worldwide if possible. So not just that, within the bid book that Tartu won, European dimension of the project was one of the main points for winning the title. So that means that all the international projects needed to include as many relevant partners as possible for any project. The second reason why could be applied to any sphere of life or any business sector. If you want to grow, you need to look beyond your front yard. And that means that we cannot isolate ourselves in a bubble, despite that isolation is recommended in these troubled times. But if you want to learn something new, if you want to improve yourself, improve your the way you do business, you need to collaborate with someone and take note of someone else's practices, and if nothing else, experience new things. Third reason, it's not just working together. Organizations, when they are collaborating from different countries, from different continents, are working together primarily. However, you need to look at other, perhaps less notable moments in this collaboration. That means that you get the twice of the exposure in local, regional, or national media because you are doubling on the public relations initiative. You are communicating towards your local community, local citizens, that you are working with someone in a different country, and that this country and this city is worth visiting. That you are developing an amazing program, and the hospitality and the tourism and the economy, everything else falls into line with just this simple act of working together across borders on an international project. The next question that comes into play in this scenario, okay, but where do we start? How do we start searching for partners? How do we develop these partnerships? And how can we trust someone that will have the same work ethics or standard of producing things that we do? Well, first, you don't need to look very far. You need to maximize existing relationships and minimize your wasted effort. It's the same approach that I would recommend to anyone doing the bid for the European Capital of Culture, and that goes look first on what you have and then fill the gaps with what you need. Basic example, local cultural operators are already, most of them are already collaborating with organizations from abroad. And considering that European Capital of Culture is a project that aims on, in this context, expanding collaboration and capacity of the local cultural operators, that means that they should first look with their existing partners, with their existing business network, who they think is the best partner for a certain project. That goes for NGOs, that goes for institutions as well. Most of you probably are or were working on certain EU projects, and you already have, if not formal, but at least informal list of organizations that you would like to work with, that you've had good experiences with, and this is where the first step where you should start. Second, utilize your municipality. Every city in the world has a series of sister or twin cities that they have a working relationship with. In Tartu's context, that means 15 twin cities across the world. And out of these 15 cities, 5 of them are already within the European Capital of Culture program. That means Riga, Kaunas, Veszprém, Turku, and Tampere, who is bidding for the 2026 title. That means these cities have both the capacity and desire to expand their partnership network and collaborations. This is just for Tartu. If I'm not mistaken, 19 surrounding municipalities have joined their efforts in supporting Tartu 2024 program. And now think how many of these additional 19 municipalities have international relations with different other cities. So utilize your municipality to connect you with those cities, with those operators within those cities, to find projects, to find partners to work on your projects together. Next approach could be, or is, European Networks memberships. Again, the first place you could look or should look is your local municipality. In Tartu's context, Tartu is a member of six networks. One of them being the UNESCO Creative Cities. It's a great it's a great way to start looking for perhaps new, fresh, or different ideas or ways to collaborate when you are looking for a project partner. Hosting and attending events used to be a very popular way of finding partners or connecting with someone to exchange information on projects and activities. However, with the current conditions, with extremely restricted travel and gatherings, you can imagine how difficult this is. However, you can look it from a different angle. Now you don't have to spend money on travel costs, on accommodation, on conference fees to attend events. So you can attend, basically you can attend more events for a lesser budget. It's not the same as meeting someone physically and exchanging ideas during coffee breaks, but still it can be a way to search and connect with other people and other organizations. Additional layer of partner search are the diplomatic missions, both domestic, or in your case, Estonian diplomatic missions abroad, and foreign missions to your country. Every embassy, one of the tasks of the embassy is to promote their national culture, national cultural production, among other things. And these institutions can be great information points, or even mediators to connect you with partners that fit your profile, that fit your program, that can help you in your search to find out someone. CEDs, Creative Europe desks. Every European country has one. It serves as a central point for distribution of information on Creative Europe's programs on various initiatives, funding opportunities, and so on. However, they do assist if needed, and if you ask them, of course, to connect you with suitable partners, potential partners outside of your country that you may not be aware of. Note that they have probably a deeper insight on what is going on and what are the capabilities of certain institutions. Outreach integration. Most of you communicate with your audiences on social media, on your website, through newsletters, or any other means you find suitable for your organization. Why not include a little information on the new project that you are developing, and drop the bait, so to say, that you are looking for partners that can strengthen the project. This isn't something that you should just ignore. It could be quite valuable, and you could be surprised in what you find as a response to these types of messages. Finally, I've felt the entire time talking that like this is some sort of online dating thing where you try to match with a suitable partner organization that can maximize the impact of your project. But when you think of it, it's not that much different. You post an ad, you post the information that you are looking for collaborations, and you just see who answers this question, and you take it from there. You see where are your connecting points, where are your creative differences, and try and test, can you actually work together. In Rijeka case, we used all of these. Local cultural operators already had, let's say, a network, but it was quite informal network of collaborators on current projects and on former projects. One additional moment happened when local cultural operators included producers from the rest of the country, and they had their own international partners that could or were relevant for the program and projects that they were producing. So don't neglect the local networks and local connections between your producers and international ones. Same goes with sister and twin cities. In various cases, these cities communicate at least on a formal level between mayors, and very often these cities suggest or offer programs or organizations that could work on a certain project, or are just generally interested in collaborating with one of you. Don't just ignore them because they come from a municipality. Take them into account and do utilize this opportunity. The same thing was with European network membership. That means you attend, you tap into a quite big pool of potential partners, potential organizations that are already connected in a way with your city and your region and your official representatives. Diplomatic missions for us helped in certain projects that we weren't really sure what or which organization could be a great partner that is dealing with a certain topic, especially if the topic is a little bit out of mainstream production, and there aren't many relevant or quality information available on these things. So diplomatic missions are basically your backend search engine for a producer that you may not be aware of, or even an organization that you are unable to reach. If you're a small NGO and would like to work with a big renowned national institutions in a big country that has that has a reputation of producing amazing cultural program, you will easier get in touch with this institution if you go through the diplomatic channels and diplomatic networks. Embassies and ambassadors and the diplomatic staff in those embassies are your allies, and everyone is really interested in helping each other out. Same thing happened with our Creative Europe desk. In our case, Creative Europe desk was as well the coordination point for the bidding process that happened before Rijeka was designated as the European Capital of Culture. So they knew how Rijeka team functioned, they knew the bid, they knew the program, and they knew what could be of interest to us. So in this sense, from Creative Europe desk side, there were several interesting initiatives and interesting events that we've had before the pandemic struck, of course. So again, first-hand experience in having an assistance from these professionals. The same goes with outreach, integration. You know, when you inform the public on your actions, let's say through newsletter, you do mention that you are producing a different project, that you are attending this event, that there will be an opening of an exhibition or a concert or something like that. And why not just add that little bit of extra information, something that isn't usually found in these promotional digital leaflets, with interesting facts about your city, about your project, or anything else. Add the information that you are looking for partners on a certain topic. So I hope I managed to introduce a little bit on why I think international relations and European Capital of Culture are important. Give a little overview on how it could be done, or my personal opinion is how it should be done. I'm looking forward to any questions that you might have, as I will be joining you live with hope that there will be no technical difficulties. If you don't feel like doing it live, feel free to get in touch with me. These are my contact details. And I would be happy to answer any of your questions that you might have.